Hi friends, it's good to see you on the Improve Yourself channel. Today we're going to talk about what many of us go through on our journey to finding love and relationships. One of the most interesting topics is dating advice, which seemingly should help to fix your personal life. But, in reality, they often lead to disappointment, failure, and loneliness. So what's really behind these popular recommendations? Why don't they work as well as they promise? And how can you change your approach so that relationships become a source of joy and support rather than a source of stress? I'll share with you experiences and examples from famous people, as well as some wise quotes that may help you see the situation from a new perspective. Part 1. Loneliness and the that leads to it. Let's start by saying that no matter how hard we try, the dating advice we find in books or hear from friends doesn't always lead to success. I'll be honest, I've been a victim of these tried and true methods myself. For example, how often have you been advised, be yourself and it will all work out? Or, don't show too much interest, or they'll think you're too dependent. Sounds familiar, right? And how does it work? You start to think that if you don't show too much interest and just follow some rules, everything will work out just fine. But here's the problem. We often forget that a relationship isn't a set of steps or rules. It's an emotional process that requires sincerity. And all this advice actually causes us to hide our true feelings, which in turn leads to isolation. Case in point, I think many of you have heard of American actress Jennifer Lopez. For a long time, her personal life has been in the public crosshairs, and she has gone through several high-profile breakups. If you look at her relationships, you can see that despite her outward confidence, she often faced loneliness trying to follow some standards and please those around her. Even in her most famous relationships, there was a lot of tension. She herself said, "I thought I had to be some kind of perfect person, but I wasn't. I needed to get back to myself." Part 2. Why standard advice doesn't work. Advice like, be mysterious. Don't be the first to say you want a relationship. Let there be a little mystery. Unfortunately, very often leads people to start not expressing themselves. They become like some kind of games rather than real, sincere relationships. In fact, real intimacy is not built on being a mystery, but on being vulnerable, open, and sincere. Quote, in the book The Mystery of Love, author M. Leeds says, "Love doesn't arise from keeping people at a distance. It grows where there is trust and vulnerability." Think about what that means for you. When we play these games of invulnerability and mystery, we don't give other people a chance to see the real us. We live in disguise all the time. And what happens? We stay single, even in the closest of relationships. Part 3. What really matters in a relationship. Let's now talk about what's really important when it comes to dating and relationships. And I'm not talking about how to hold the phone properly so you don't seem clingy or how to look perfect on a first date. The most important thing is the ability to be real. Being honest with yourself and the person you're on the date with. It's not just the external factors that are important in a relationship, but the emotional connection, mutual respect, and willingness to support each other. Life example, take the famous American entrepreneur and author of The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg. Despite his success and career, he often talked in interviews about how important it is for him to find people who understand him, and not those who just by some external signs seem to be an ideal partner. He had moments of loneliness in his life when he tried to follow relationship advice, but never found someone who was his man. He realized that it was important not to conform to some expectations, but to openly show his feelings and vulnerabilities. This, he believes, was the key to a real, long-term relationship. Part 4. How to fix the situation. So, how can you fix this situation? What can you do to avoid becoming single by following the many dating tips out there? 1. Be yourself. Yes, it's corny, but it's really important. Don't try to play roles. If you love something, show it. If you're worried about something, don't hide it. 2. Don't look for the perfect person. The perfect person doesn't exist. We're all human. And in relationships, it's important to accept the other person's flaws rather than trying to find someone who will completely fulfill your expectations. 3. Trust and vulnerability are two key components of a healthy relationship. Without them, it is impossible to build true intimacy. 4. Listen to what others have to say. This is also an important point. Often we get caught up in our own worries and don't hear what other people are saying to us. Listen carefully, and then you will be able to realize if you really want to continue a relationship with this person. Conclusion. In conclusion, relationships are not a game. It is a journey in which it is important to be open, vulnerable, and honest. By following advice that pushes us into games and masks, we lose the opportunity to be real. Remember, true love begins with yourself. Don't look for ideals, but look for real people. Be open, be genuine, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable. That's it. Thank you for watching. Leave comments, and see you soon.